Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have some random swatches from Moo Moo Signatures. If you're not familiar with them, I'll link their social media and storefront down below. I had a request to feature them in my But Do They Watermarble Friday. I reached out to them about being featured and they sent me these polishes, so look forward to seeing these tested for water marbling. All of these polishes are the Big Four free and cruelty free, which is a very big deal to me. They do have the cruelty free bunny ears. I'll go ahead and jump right into these swatches. First up is Ballerina Mousse, and this is described as an elegant shade of pale petty color with subtle hollow and full of chameleon shimmer and tiny flakies that shift from pink to gold to turquoise. I caught a lot of the turquoise there. The pink is definitely evident. I just wasn't able to catch it in my photos. So I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Ballerina Mousse swatched on my natural nail. So here is the first coat. The formula on all of these polishes is so user-friendly, really easy to use. They self-level well, they go on really well. So one coat here is a little bit streaky. I will let that dry and then come back in for a second coat. So here is the second coat, and this is definitely going to build this one up perfectly. It does look like it looks streaky when I apply it, but it self-levels down really well and you lose all of those brush strokes. So two coats here is just shy of being opaque for me, so I'll let this dry and then come back in for a third and final coat. So here is my third and final coat. I did end up going in for a little bit of a thicker third coat here. I didn't necessarily need to, but you know I do love a nice thick coat. I did flood my cuticle a little bit there. I did a little bit of cleanup using acetone and a cleanup brush, no problem. So here is a look at the completed mani before top coat. This one does dry down a little bit dull, but I do believe this is my new favorite nude. I love nude polishes, but I really like it when they have a little something extra in them. I get bored of creams very easily. So these are my swatch photos under artificial lighting. So next up is Mousse Heart, and it's just like they knew exactly what to send me. This one is described as a red crelly with tiny gold and pink to blue flakies. This is a stunning red, y'all. I love reds. This is a gorgeous one. It has tons of flakies in there. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Mousse Heart swatched on my natural nail. This is described as being a crelly, but I found that the formula was more jelly-like. It is very squishy. It is a little bit sheer. You're going to have to work to build it up, but this first coat goes on super smooth, super easy. It's like silk on the nails. So I'll let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. So here is my second coat. It is a jelly, so I'm going to go in for a little bit of a thicker coat, and this definitely deepens that color up and adds to all those flakies. This is going to be one that looks awesome matte. At two coats, I can still see a little bit of flash of my nail line, and I'm really not about that life, so I am going to go ahead and show you what a third coat looks like. Three coats again builds it up, intensifies that red color, but I can still see a tiny bit of nail line. It didn't really bother me right here because it's just very subtle and adds to the squishy effect. So here is a look at the completed mani before top coat. This one dries down super glossy. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And then once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So next up is Devil Bunny in the House, and this one is described as a teal hollow with pink shimmer and tiny red flaky. So you can see all that gorgeous pink shimmer as well as that hollow. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Devil Bunny in the House swatched on my natural nail. I feel like this polish has a bit of that jelly base as well. It's super squishy. It is one that you're going to have to build up a little bit. One coat goes on super easy, but it is quite sheer, so I'll let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. Now this is a very pretty deep teal color. I had no staining, but I did use the base coat. It didn't stain my cuticles or anything like that either. I did go in for a nice thick second coat, and this one brings it right to the edge of being opaque for me. I did stop here at two coats. You can see a tiny flash of a nail line, but it wasn't bad. If you wanted to, you could, of course, go in for a third coat. So here is a look at the completed mani before top coat. This one dries down fairly glossy as well. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So this next polish is Fantasy Labyrinth, and this is a limited edition. It is showing sold out right now, so hopefully she brings it back. It's described as a grayish blurple with mauve shimmer, tiny pink and green flakies, green to blue chrome flakies, sapphire and pink hollow sparkles, and tiny blue flakies. So a lot definitely going on in here. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Fantasy Labyrinth swatched on my natural nail. This one does have a ton of glitters on here, but it went super smooth. It wasn't chunky at all. Just a nice formula. It is on a little bit of the thinner side, but still really easy to use. One coat's not quite opaque, so I will go in for a nice thick second coat, and this second coat is going to bring this one completely opaque for me. I really love the finish on this polish. I figured I would go ahead and show you guys in case it pops up in a destash somewhere or she does bring it back. So here is a look at the completed mani before top coat. This is one that you'll want a nice glossy top coat to help smooth everything out and bring out all that hollow. I have major regrets about not getting this one in the sunlight yet. This is my swatch photos under artificial lighting. So the last polish I have today is Yeti Moo, and this one is showing as sold out as well, but it is not a limited edition, so you may want to keep your eye out for this one if you're interested. This is an adorable hollow topper with snowy glitters such as white daisies, white stars, small white dots, white squares, white hexes in various sizes, as well as iridescent glitters and tiny color-shifting iridescent glitters. This is a very dense glitter topper. That base is a little bit on the thick side, but all of those glitters stay perfectly suspended. You don't have to fish for anything at all. I'm going to show you what it looks like at one coat over black today. This is Tux Polish's Onyx. So you can see that holographic effect is super strong. I did get a ton of the matte white glitters on my brush. The only thing is you may want to kind of have to work them around and get them exactly where you wanted to. I would recommend doing it on a sponge and then doing some glitter placement that way. That way you get them exactly where you want them. So these, of course, are going to need a nice glossy top coat to help smooth all those larger glitters out. They did lay nice and flush. I know with stars, especially with all those points, that's kind of an issue. These laid really nicely on the nail. So this is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And then once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So that wraps up today's swatch and review of Moo Moo signatures. I want to send a big thank you to May for sending these to me. If you'd like to see more photos, I do have this available on my blog at sloppyswatches.wordpress.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. I will be featuring these in upcoming weeks, but do they water marble, so stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next time.